Let me just think about it.
Oh, you just made me.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know you were recording. I thought we were talking first. I used to golf all the time with pretty much all the same people, and at some point we decided to switch up and go fishing, and that's been a routine for the last 5-6 years. And on one particular trip, which was when we were in Milwaukee and we were on Lake Michigan, the fivesome was myself, Bob Hoffage, Joe Hoffage, Deb Lawrence, and Liz Bustamante. And so we had a nice mix, and we go down to the boat, and we get on the boat, and our captain's name is Shorty. And Shorty, can I swear?
Yes. Shorty,
out of the gate, was a complete pain in the ass. Shorty was about, well, his name is, it portrays his kind of his physique. He's probably about 5'4". I do know that hygiene was not a super important thing to him. His dress code was fairly awful. All we saw most of the time was the crack of his ass, if you want to know the truth, because he'd be running around and telling us what we were doing wrong. But yeah, he was not a nice person. Oh, he just whined and complained about his wife. Every other word was F. Every other word was F. He just couldn't have a sentence without it. And that was his way of describing things. Not to mention that he was rude to the three of us. Now, we're talking male on male, and making comments about our wives, and he doesn't even know us. Made a comment about Liz and Deb, and he didn't know if that was one of our wives or anything. So he was a runaway train, and we should have just committed mutiny on the guy right at the dock, but we took our chances, and Deb was not feeling well at all and does not do well in the water. So Lake Michigan was nothing but waves, and that's inside the jetty. So she was already whining about, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. And Shorty said, well, I'll be damned. We're not going out past that jetty and coming back. So you better make a decision. And I don't even want to take you on the boat and go out as far as the jetty. So she and Liz kind of concocted a plan where if Deb didn't feel well, that Liz would go off the boat with her, and then the three of us would go out. Well, don't you know, we make it about halfway up the jetty, and Deb just looks blue and green and every other color, and just looks at us and says, guys, we got to turn around. And Shorty blows a gasket, and I told you we shouldn't do this, and I didn't want to do this. And so we said, Shorty, just cool it, bring her back. So needless to say, we went out, and it was rough as hell, but Shorty, for some reason, chose to pick on Bob Hoffage the entire trip. Bob Hoffage is the easiest guy in the world to deal with, never gets upset, never gets mad, and he was just getting tooled on. And it was just hilarious to watch Shorty try to beat this guy down. But lo and behold, we had a terrible beginning, and it was rough, and we thought, we're getting nowhere with this. And all of a sudden, we just started to catch fish, and we ended up being the boat that caught the most fish. But we did almost, I don't know if commit mutiny is the right word for Shorty, but I think his tip was affected pretty dramatically. So that's my fishing story. Oh my God, was it memorable. Anybody ask Bob about Shorty, and he'll go off and talk forever. And he doesn't understand why he got picked on, but it was just a great story. It was a great time. So that goes down. I think grown, just to see the organization grow. Literally people-wise, but the youth that's come in. And I think I can fairly say that, having started at 32, and there was a big push to try to get younger people into it. And it took a while, but you could see the waves starting. And there'd be more and more. And we were asked to get involved. Don't sit around and watch all the time. Get involved in these committees and make a stand for yourself, because you're the next generation. And, the organization was fairly old. So I think, and that's not you're asking me, I guess, what I'm most proud of. I'm one little cog in the wheel, but it's really what EGSA did. So that's what I was proud of. I can tell you this. I remember, I think I was the first one, and we'll call it the Rat Pack, because that's what I called it. It was that Sinatra or whoever did the Rat Pack. Dean Martin and Sinatra and all those guys. Well, I came in, and then Bob and Joe came in, and Deb came in, and Randall Nunmaker, you don't know him, but he was with the organization for a long time. And there were one or two other people. And I remember we were accepted. We were definitely accepted, but we'd hang together. And I remember saying to them, you guys, this is going to be us. See that circle right there? This is going to be us. It's just going to take us some time. And look at it. I mean, Deb's been president. I've been president now. Bob Hoffich is going to be president. So it's just worked.
Yeah.
And now it's our job to bring people in and create that circle again. I did not enjoy my first presidential speech or presentation this morning. I enjoyed my MCJs for 3 straight years and never felt like I did this morning. So I am on a mission to not let that ever, 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 ever happen again. I will be prepared. Now, how are you going to make sense of any of what I just said?